Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. It is Friday night, and it has been one heck of a week. I have to tell you, it has been an incredible week, and I am so glad, so thankful that the weekend is finally here. And I'm thankful that the weekend is here for several reasons. One, because I need some time off from work. Two, because I get to spend a little time with the family. Three, because of something I'm going to tell you guys about in just a second. So this is a little bit of an impromptu live stream, and it's necessary because of one of the giveaway prizes has not been claimed. One of the giveaways that we do on every, we do a lot of giveaways, right? And one of the giveaways that was done recently has not been claimed. And we need to award it to the second place person. And I don't think that this has actually happened in a really long time. So we're going to, we're kind of in uncharted territory here. Blue ocean, red ocean, uncharted territory. So before we get started, let me say hello to some comic book soldiers that have joined me here in the room. Let me scroll it to the top here. Matthew is here. Tina's here. Eugene is here. Scrolling down through the names. Harvey is here. Harvey, it's good to see you. Chuck is in the house. It is good to see you. Tina's talking about the Emerald City Comic-Con has been postponed. Yeah, I know a lot of people are definitely upset about that. Cool and Collected, how you doing? Welcome to the live stream, my good friend. Hope all is well. JD is here in the room, scrolling down through the names, seeing who else is in here. Shannon, welcome to the live stream. I'm not certain that I've seen your name before, but it is definitely good to see you. Randy Resnake is in the house. How you doing, brother? It is always good to see you. Almighty Liger King is also here. Allison is here. Discovery Bay is in the house. Quest Dog is also here. So let me do this real quick. So somebody actually reached out to me. And they were looking to do a little bit of a partnership deal. And I heard the terms, and it wasn't something that I was necessarily interested in. It didn't fit with what I am trying to do here on the channel. But I actually suggested that this person reach out to a couple of other YouTubers, and one of them is actually here in the room, which is why I'm doing this right now. And it is Discovery Bay. So a guy reached out to me with an opportunity, and he found out about me because of some things that a subscriber was actually doing on his channel. And so the guy kind of backtracked, found me, we had a discussion, and it wasn't a good fit for me, but I basically identified a couple of YouTubers. One of them was Discovery Bay, another was John's Comics with Kids, and another was Whitewell Comics that he might want to look into, because all three of those individuals, I think, are solid guys that put out some solid content on a regular and consistent basis. And so Discovery Bay, he may reach out to you. This guy may reach out to you at some point to have a conversation. Feel no pressure from me to actually do anything, but you're a solid guy doing some amazing work with your daily live streams, essentially serving as a TV guide of sorts to all the YouTube community related to comics and toys and all that kind of stuff. So shout out to you, brother. Thank you for being in the live stream here. All right. So as I mentioned, this may actually turn out to be a really short live stream unless you guys have lots of questions, but there are basically three things that I want to try to get to over the course of the time that we actually have. And we actually did a giveaway. I think it was last week. Actually, it was last week as of today, for a cover recreation. My man Mark actually created this thing for me. He painted this thing by hand, and we actually awarded a cover recreation to a subscriber of the channel. And the video went out basically announcing that this person had won. And with all my contests on the channel, people have basically 1 week. They have 1 week to claim their prizes. The prize has not been claimed. And so we are actually going to go to the second person here on the list. And that person will have some time to actually reach out to me to claim this prize. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't, one of the things that I don't do is necessarily track people down to give them their prizes, right? It's just, I have a lot of other stuff to do. So unfortunately, this person is missing out, but I think that actually says, I can't even read that. That is so small. Let me make that bigger. All right. So Dino Wilson, let me make sure you guys can see that. Dino Wilson is the second place person. So Dino, hopefully you will see this live stream. And if you do, I want to ask you to please send me your screen name, your government name, your mailing address, so that we can get this cover recreation sent out to you in a timely fashion. And you guys can see there who third and fourth places are as well. So if Dino does not claim his prize in a reasonable amount of time, it may be necessary to continue down the list. Again, all these giveaways that we do here on the channel are really designed to reward people who are subscribers of the channel, who are watching the content on a regular basis. And so that's part of the reason why we don't go track people down, because it's designed to be a reward for those folks that are regular members. Randy, how you doing, brother? If you guys are, if your name is, what did I say? I can't even remember what I said. Dino Wilson. If it is you, sir, I definitely want to encourage you to reach out to me as soon as you possibly can, so that we can get this thing sent out to you. And then you guys again saw who was coming up in third and fourth and fifth place and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully we don't have to go that far down the list, but you never know. Dinosaur. So Lee D has just dropped a super chat here. So I want to acknowledge that. Lee, thank you very much. One, for joining the live stream and spending a little bit of time with us. And then two, for dropping a super chat. I absolutely appreciate that. Anytime someone takes some time to open their wallets, or to send AOKs or any of that kind of stuff. Certainly Patreon members, I want to say thank you for that, because you guys are under no obligation to do it, but rest assured that it is all appreciated. And I kind of bring up AOKs here because She Spawn is in the room, and I actually have an AOK sitting from her right over here that is actually unopened. It's been a crazy week. So I actually have 3 AOKs that are sitting over here. One from She Spawn, one from Paul, and one from somebody that literally arrived today, and I haven't even read it. But there are 3 packages. You can actually kind of make them out there right on the side there. But 3 packages that I will hopefully be able to open this week and be able to show you guys in a timely fashion. So shout out again to Lee and to She Spawn for hooking me up. Definitely appreciate you guys. All right. So that's the first thing. Dino, if you are out there, Dino, I definitely want to encourage you to find me so that we can get this thing sent out to you. There was another person that actually won. My man, Randy Resnake, who is in here right now, stepped up, and Randy was basically like, hey, I want to give something away to the community as well. And so he actually volunteered to create the second prize that we ended up giving away last week as well. And that was a cover recreation of Giant Size X-Men #1. And one of his creations is actually right over my shoulder there. Where's Randy? Is he in the room right now? Looking for him, see if I can find him. Randy, if you're in the room, comment so I can throw you up on screen. But Randy created that thing for me, and he volunteered to create something for the second place. And so we ended up nominating that person and identifying them. Daryl is the person, and Daryl reached out to me again today. I don't know if Daryl actually received my message, but Daryl, rest assured that when you sent your message to me the other day saying that you were the winner of the Giant Size, I responded back. There is a chance that my email could have gotten caught up in your spam filter, but I absolutely responded last week, and I responded again today. So hopefully you can check your spam filter and know that we got your information, and that information has actually been passed on to Randy. So there was a comment here. What does that say? After this live stream, I'm going to play catch up on my reading X-Force, Giant Size, Jean Grey, and Emma Frost, and New Mutants. Hey, I'm going to be honest with you, Jeffrey, I'm going to be honest with you, brother, right now. Okay. Giant Size X-Men. It will take you probably 5 minutes to read. It is not good. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I personally was disappointed in this one. I thought that there was maybe going to be some intrigue and some mystery, maybe some maybe a new villain popping up or something, like not a new villain, but an old villain popping back up. I don't want to give it away, but I found that issue not good. ungood. It might be the technical term, but you let me know. You let me know what you think. When you read that, you let me know what you think. But I read it, man, and I was pumped to do so. And yeah, so let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me see. Let me scroll up because I think I may have missed a comment or two. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So Randy is giving an update. It says, sent it out on Monday to him. He should have received it already, is what he's saying. Yeah, man, I don't know. He sent me a message earlier today, and I knew that I had given you the information. And I know that you don't let grass grow under your feet, man. So his message at 3 o'clock today kind of caught me off guard. I don't know. Maybe he didn't check his mailbox or something like that when he sent me the message. But I have no doubt that you sent it out. No doubt in my mind that it was sent out. And again, he may not have checked his spam filter or his mailbox today to see that it was there. So fingers crossed that he actually gets it, and it'll be all good. Be all good, my friend. Let me scroll down, making sure that I didn't miss anything. All right. So that was that update. The next update, I have a new show. I have a new show that I am going to release tomorrow. And when I pulled back the Friday show, I had every intention of filling that, not that slot, but that time that I had every intention of filling that time with something else. And I did not quite know what it was or what form it was going to take. So I spent a lot of time over the last week and a half kind of brainstorming some things that I wanted to do, some things that might be a little different, might be a little unique, instead of just, what I've been doing, which I think is good, but it's always let's do something different. Let's try, some different things, because again, I'm trying to get to 10,000 subs. So we have to mix it up, right? We have to be sexy and be innovative. And so I have a new show. I have a new show that is going to be coming out, but it's not going to come out on Friday. At least I don't think. I think it's going to come out on Saturdays. And I think what I'm going to do is release it at 5 p.m., which is not a bad time for people on Pacific Coast. And I don't think that it's bad time for people on the East Coast. And to be honest, it's after I get home from soccer practice with my kid, right? So I get home from soccer practice, I get to grab something to eat. But I'm going to be doing this new show. And I think I hope that it's fun. It's a little different. Maybe a little different. Maybe it is a combination of a few things that I've kind of experimented with before. There's a couple of additional things that I want to do in episode 2 that I did not do in this one because I went a little long in a section. And I know I'm being super cryptic right now. Super cryptic, potentially purposeful to get you guys to tune in tomorrow at 5 p.m. But what we're going to do is it's actually not going to be a live show. It will be comic related, JD. It definitely will be that. It will be a live show. I'm sorry, let me restate. It will be about comics. It will not be a live show in the sense that I'm going to be live now, right? What it will be is it'll be a premiere. Right. It'll be a premiere, which will allow me to watch the show with you guys in real time together with the group, right, of people that come in, and I'll be able to type and talk to you guys and kind of add to what is actually being shown and spoken about on screen. And so it gives me a little bit of freedom and flexibility to not necessarily have to be live in front of the camera. It gives me an opportunity to be a little creative and to do something a little bit different. And what I'll be doing is I'll be doing this on YouTube, which is my primary focus, right? Never confuse that. YouTube is my primary focus, but I'm also going to be doing it and taking that content, if you will, and putting it onto the podcast as well, because I think we're at almost 4,000, almost at 4,000 downloads of the podcast. And I'm enjoying that. I think people like to take me on the go, if you will, right? Where they can download it and kind of listen to it when they're driving to work or working or whatever it happens to be. And so I wanted to continue kind of growing that part of my offering, while not necessarily taking anything away from you guys. And so I think that what I've put together, I think is going to work quite nicely for YouTube. And I think it'll also work quite nicely for the podcast. At least that's my hope. That's at least my hope. And if we find that it doesn't work for one or the other, we'll make some adjustments. We'll make some changes, but I remain hopeful. And I hope you guys will tune in tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific time, which again is not a bad time for people on this coast or people on East Coast, because people are like, hey, don't forget about the East Coast. so we'll try to do it a little bit earlier. So there is a question here from Peter with the super chat. So Peter, definitely thank you for the super chat. And I think we've spoken about this before. At least I feel like I've spoken about this question before with some other people. And it could have been you. And if it was, you definitely have my apologies. This is one of those tough things, right? It's tough for me to answer these questions around which FF books, besides 1 through 5 and in the Galactus trilogy should be targeted, right? I think, I would include 50 in there because that would complete the Galactus trilogy. So it's 48, 49, 50. And then 52 is the first appearance of Black Panther, which is, Black Panther is actually not a bad book to pick up right now because I don't think that anyone's paying attention to that. I kind of think that may be a little bit of blue ocean. That book has, I think, come down in price and also in value. And now could be a good time to actually pick up that particular book. 1 through 5 of FF is always a good book to pick up, but I honestly don't think that now is the time to buy those books. I really don't. I don't think that now is the time to really buy any of these books that are up on the screen right now, besides FF52. That is my belief. I believe that Fantastic Four books, especially these ones that are on screen right now, are actually Red Ocean. I think that those are Red Ocean books where you are going to pay a tremendous amount of money to actually get those books. Now, if you have the opportunity to actually pick those books up for like dirt cheap, I say rock on. But if you're buying those books right now at FMV, it's kind of tough. I think it's Red Ocean. And if you don't know what Red Ocean is, I definitely want to encourage you to check out the video that is on my channel called My Speculation Strategy. And in that book, I make a case for what is the Red Ocean and what is the Blue Ocean and how one might want to think about speculation. And the general premise is that if it's being discussed publicly and openly, and there are videos being made about it, if it's being tweeted about, then it's probably not something that you actually want to take a look at, right? Because let's look at it this way. Let's say that you go out and you go buy one of these books that is Red Ocean book, and that book is sky high, and you buy that book sky high. That means that book has to go to even higher heights for you to be able to sell that book and to make that profit, right? So if the book is high and you buy it there, the book has to go higher for you to sell it to make that margin, right? That's really tough. That's really tough. And so unless you're able to catch that book when it's going up, then it's tough, right? And you also have to buy it, get it, sell it, and have it go up for you to realize that profit, right? That is tough. That comes down to timing, and timing can be a monster. And if you have like a job and like other activities, you cannot be privy to all the information that is out there right now, right? And for me, I think that the time to have bought the Fantastic Four books, honestly, was probably 3 years ago. That was probably honestly the time to buy those books, right? And I'm speaking in very broad and general terms right now. If you find a deal out there, you find a deal. But if you're going to eBay, I don't think that that's going to be the hot move, right? The time to have bought these books is really about 3 years ago, right? And so the question becomes, where is the opportunity? The opportunity probably is not with those books, but there are lots of opportunities. And I kind of talk about one of them in the video that I released called My Speculation Strategy. So you guys may want to check that out. Yes, there's a question here from Matt Woods about Pacific time. Yes, it is. The new show is dropping tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And I do believe that it was actually named by Matt Woods, who is a Patreon member. I actually floated the idea of this project to them a couple of days ago, and Patreon members kind of started sending me messages and stuff like that. And I believe that Matt Woods actually gave me the name for this one. I could be mistaken. If not, just own it. If not, just own it, brother. What is this? The best time to buy a book is before they're popular. Hindsight is 2020. Legit. And I think, for me, and again, I personally think that I make a pretty strong case for like where to look or how to think in this book or this video. And the video is really about a philosophy, right? It is about a philosophical approach and a mindset. It's not necessarily saying go buy this book, right? Because here's the thing: if I on this microphone say go buy this book, then what I've learned is that people will do that, right? That's what I've learned. And if people do that, then that book's price goes up. And if that price goes up, then to me, that becomes the bloody water, the competition water. So what I'm trying to get people to do is to not necessarily do what I'm saying, but to think, to take a moment and think a little bit differently and to find out where the opportunities are for them based upon the things that they are interested in, right? I cannot tell somebody where their blue ocean is. I cannot tell anybody what that is, right? So let me see. So the question is, could these books realistically come down after the movies? Yeah, they realistically can, and they will, because I think history has demonstrated time and time again that these books come out, they go up. When the movie comes out, those books cool down, right? And so the question becomes like, look at first appearance of Black Panther. That first appearance of Black Panther, FF number 52, was super hot leading up to the Black Panther. And then during that movie being out, and then they kind of cooled off, right? Same thing happened with X-Men 101, right? Same thing. There's a run up and then there's a cooling off period, right? And the question becomes, when is the run up and when is the cooling off period? You know what I'm saying? I had FF52, first appearance of Black Panther, on my 2018 want list. I still haven't purchased the book. Still haven't purchased the book for two reasons. One, because the book was hot for 18 and a healthy chunk of 19, right? But then two, I evaluated what I wanted for my collection and realized that I wanted some other things more than I wanted that particular book. And so my focus shifted to that. And I think most people know that it shifted to completing the run of Amazing Spider-Man. And I was able to successfully do that. So hopefully there you go. Yeah, there's a couple of books, man. Unfortunately, yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 110 was one of those books that I've kind of mentioned, and the prices of that book went up. And that was a real eye opener for me. And we've spoken about this. I'm not gonna talk about this a whole lot, but that was a real eye opener for me, that if I mention something, then it has an effect, and that's that was an eye opening experience for me. So let me scroll down. I'm gonna be honest with you. One of the things is that I wanted FF number 1 like nobody's business, and I wanted it because I read it digitally and was like, that is an awesome book. And what ended up happening is I ended up prioritizing X-Men number 1 and prioritizing Amazing Spider-Man before FF1. I made a calculated gamble that all three, well, it was basically like all three of these books are about to go up. And I decided that I was actually going to lay my money down on my two favorite things, right? That being Spider-Man and X-Men. And because FF was a new thing for me, it was on the back burner. And the prices of that book just climbed like nobody's business. And I don't have it to this day. Don't have it to this day. So scrolling down, what do I think about viewing comics as stocks? I view anything that requires me to put a substantial amount of money down with a great deal of care and caution. Anything that requires me to put a significant amount of money down requires a significant amount of care and caution, right? If I'm spending $5 on something, I don't even think about it. $20 on something, I don't think about it. $100, I might give a thought to it, right? When you start to talk about beyond that, yeah, I'm going to spend some time evaluating it, right? And I think that you should. I think that you should. I don't think that you can compare a comic to a stock, because there is no stock ticker to evaluate the moment by moment values of those books. Everything that we do with comics is mostly in hindsight. It's mostly in hindsight. And to some degree or another, I think that comics can actually be a little bit more dangerous. I think that comics can be a little bit more dangerous, because comics can be a combination of like desire and greed, whereas stocks might just be greed. It's like there is an emotional attachment that people will have with comics that they don't have with stocks. There is no emotional attachment to stocks, right? The attachment is dollar deep. It is not an emotional thing for people with comics. And so I think that comics can actually be even more dangerous than stocks, right? But again, if you're spending real money, and each of us has to define what real money is, I think it's different for each one of us. And I think that if you are spending real money, you have to figure out what kind of mindset do you need to manage your money wisely. So hopefully, I did not anticipate this kind of conversation happening, but you guys did this. You guys brought this on with these questions that you guys are asking right now. One of the other things I will tell you. So let me get to this. And then if you guys have other questions, we'll definitely get back to a couple of other things here. So I want to show you guys this real quick. There is a contest that is going on right now by someone who has actually done a little bit of sponsorship on the channel. So I definitely want to take a moment to give these guys a little bit of love. Comics Price Guide, comicspriceguide.com. They are a pricing service out there. They actually participated in one of my recent giveaways. They actually have a giveaway going on right now, and I think that it's actually a pretty cool giveaway. Let me try to zoom my screen in here. This original art in that upper left-hand corner here, this Wolverine original art, they are actually giving this piece of original art away. It is an Instagram-only contest, and so you can actually go to the URL here, right? I think you need an Instagram account, but at a minimum, you can actually navigate to Instagram and then head over to Comics Price Guide, and you can actually enter this giveaway. And I think all you have to do is to repost this thing, which means that you do have to have a profile. You repost this image to your page, you follow them, you repost it, like I said, and then you come back to this post and you comment that you're done or finished. And I would definitely encourage you guys to check this out. It is a free contest, free giveaway for a piece of awesome original art featuring Wolverine. And if you do decide to do this thing, head over, enter the contest, say done or finished or whatever you choose to say, and then let them know that you're a comic book soldier. Put them on notice, let them know you're a comic book soldier. But right now, man, there's only 37 people that have entered this contest. The contest ends on the 13th. So your odds are actually pretty darn good. And it's actually a pretty cool piece of artwork. So I am not going to enter the giveaway. I'm not going to enter the giveaway. But I did want to raise the flag because I saw this thing from Comics Price Guide, and I wanted to let you guys know about it. So let me scroll this down real quick here. Let me see what you guys are talking about right now. What is this being sold? What is this? Dollar bin fodder. It's talking about Hell Risen #3. Thought that price was, yeah, I mean, only time will tell what actually will happen with this particular book, there's only time will tell what happens with this particular book, right? There's a lot of controversy right now around what the first appearance is. Is it Hell Risen 3? Is it Batman 89? Or is it going to be Batman 92? Which one is going to be the actual first appearance of Punchline? I think CGC has put on the label of Hell Risen that it's actually that book, but there's an argument being made by some that it's actually a cameo appearance, that the full appearance actually hasn't happened. And so who knows which way the wind is going to blow on this one. I own none of them. I kept my powder dry, did not get involved with any of this because there's some other things that I'm trying to work on, and every nickel counts at this moment. So what is this? Comic Crypto Stock says, I have always made more money trading comics than stocks. There you go. But you also have a very unique approach, at least I think, to buying and selling comics. You have a unique approach, and you're definitely good at it. That AF-15 that you broke out, yeah, that was a gorgeous book. So shout out to you, brother. Scrolling up, seeing if you guys are talking about it. Scrolling up, let me see. Hell Risen #3 was selling for $48 to $51. I mean, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money, and I was in the video that I did, my speculation strategy actually cited, what was it? Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, and what happened with that book. That book had a big run up in 2019, cooled off by the end of 2019, is now run back up to $100 or something like that. The books ebb and flow. The books ebb and flow. And so the question is, are you on the ebb or are you on the flow? Are you ebbing? Are you flowing? Are you making money or are you losing money? That is what it comes down to. And so one of the things, and we've talked a lot about money, but what we really haven't spoken about is my philosophy to some degree is about buying the books that I want in my collection as inexpensively as possible. Right. And what I mean by that is that if there is a book that I want to give thought to what factors may influence the price of that book. And if I anticipate some market conditions or something like that affecting the price of that book, then I will prioritize the purchase of that book sooner rather than later, so as to avoid having to pay more money for that very same book later on. And so that's what I'm kind of talking about, what my philosophy is, right? If I saw, for example, that there was potentially something that was going to happen with Omega Red, I'm not going to buy Omega Red after everybody else is talking about Omega Red. I buy Omega Red 6 months ago when no one was talking about Omega Red, when I can actually get a 9.8 for a couple of bucks and then raw copies for a couple of bucks. Right? That's the time to buy, because I like Omega Red, right? I like Omega Red because it's part of the Jim Lee series from the 90s. And I have, a healthy amount of that Jim Lee run, one of my favorite creators. That's kind of the motivation behind it. So it's like, I'm thinking about these things. What do I want my collection to be? What do I want in my collection? What characters, what creators are important to me? And that I start to prioritize these things to figure out what I want to buy now versus later. It's not necessarily about, let me buy this stuff so I can turn around and sell it, so much as it is, let me buy these things for my collection to make my collection be the best that it can be. And I want to buy them for the lowest possible price. That's what the philosophy is. Can you make money? Yeah. If I buy 8 copies of Omega Red at the right time, I can turn around and sell them. But what happens if I'm wrong? Right? What happens if I'm right is that I've actually had these books in my collection and I spend less money to get them. Right? So it's a little bit of a mindset. It's a little bit of a mindset that in my mind allows me to save money, but can also be used to help people make money as well. So again, if you haven't watched that video, my speculation strategy, you may want to check that video out on YouTube. What is this? Another part of that is with newer and or younger collectors, there's this idea of keeping up with the Joneses. They might go for a book because they think that yes. And that's where I talk about FOMO. A couple of weeks ago, I released a video talking about FOMO, which is fear of missing out. And that's essentially what I talk about. Like, why are you buying this book? Why now? What is the motivation? How does this book fit into your overall goals for your collection? Do you think that now is the right time to buy this book? Why are you buying it? Are you buying it because someone told you to buy it, or because it's a book that you actually want? FOMO is a real thing. And I think that FOMO can affect not just new collectors and those that are newly returning. I think it's potentially more acute in those people, but seasoned collectors can also get caught up in FOMO. Variant covers, they're gorgeous. Gotta collect them all, right? I think that we're all susceptible, if you will, to FOMO and to some of the emotions that go along with comics. And if you've been paying attention to the channel, I've actually released videos that talk about the emotional state, the mind state, the mindset of the collector, because a lot of what we do isn't just dollars and cents. There is some emotional stuff, and you've heard videos, head and heart, right? You've heard me talk about goal setting. You've heard me talk about what is the objective for your collection. Do you have a plan? What are you trying to accomplish? Fear, right? There are videos that are going to be coming out soon that are going to be talking about regret and other emotions that affect us as collectors. I'm giving away a couple of things here that are in the hopper that you guys will see in the coming weeks. A lot of videos that I've recorded that are just sitting around waiting to come out to you guys. But yeah. Let me scroll down, see what else you guys are talking about. I had FOMO last night, darn eBay. Man, FOMO will get you. FOMO is like Pokemon, gotta catch them all. She spawns like variants. Where? Man, yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's like if you're doing it and you're doing it because it's what you really enjoy, right? And you have a plan, go for it. But if you're doing it because you're trying to keep up with other people, or you hear somebody say it and you go do it without understanding why you're doing it, you might want to just pause. Just pause for a second and ask yourself a couple of questions. Why am I doing this? How does it make sense? right? How does it make sense? I have way too many covers of Spawn. Bro, don't even get me started. Amazing Spider-Man 800. I don't even want to tell you how many covers I have, right? It was like Pokemon. I was like, I gotta get them all, right? Because it's Amazing Spider-Man 800, you know? It's not like I'm not going to be here for 900. We're at 840 right now. So I'll be here for 900 and buy a bunch of those too. So it definitely happens. Right now, right keys to be speculating wrong right now is Blade. It is the last movie in the MCU Phase 5 state. Not any news on Reddit and the insiders as of now. Bizarre Adventures 33 is stocking up. Yeah, I mean there is there you go. That is someone's a belief that Blade is where it is right now. So scrolling up through the comments here, let me see what else you guys are talking about here. All right, I think I got it. Wait a minute. Right around Halloween, I bought the entire run of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Nice. It's not bad. Nice. Turn around and sell them, brother. Now was the time to sell them. And that's the thing about speculation, is that the only time you really make your cash, right, is when you sell them, right? And that is when you make your cash. I want that cover too. Sorry, I digress. I was going down a path and I've detoured because I agree. I want that ASM. There was a couple of books. No, it's ASM 800. I thought it was the 800 Ditko cover, or was it a Kirby cover? Am I talking about a completely different cover? It is possible. It is possible. I think Mutant Beaver, didn't they have that Transformers 1 cover that was super dope that I kicked myself because I actually did not buy that one? Oh, you're talking about that one, ASM 700. Gotcha. That book is stupid expensive. I have right now at my ankle, I actually have that cover, ASM 700. Basically the Ditko version of AF-15. I have it. And it's actually on a fan magazine. It's on a fan magazine, and I have it down here at my ankle. I think I actually show it in one of my videos, my irregular comics video or something like that. I show it in there. But the ASM 700, I will probably never get that one. I will probably never get that one. It's a cool book. I will probably just never buy it. But if that's what you want, brother, good luck. Good luck. If you want one, I can tell you where to get one today, because there's a comic shop. Every time I go, I look at it and I always think that is too expensive. Let me scroll down. Oh man, if you're talking about the one I'm talking about, brother, what is this? Optimus. No, this was a straight up Mutant Beaver. It was just Optimus Prime. It was like a brown, like rusty. It was like a rust colored. And it wasn't, there were two that they did. It was the first one that was just gorgeous, just Optimus Prime on the cover by himself. And I looked at it and looked at it and looked at it, and I just could not pull the trigger. What is Cool and Collected says, I got ASM 700 and it took me a while to get it. The one ASM that he has signed. Here's the thing. If you guys haven't checked out Cool and Collected's channel, go check out this guy's channel. He's got some crazy books, man. I'm not surprised that he has that book. He has some 8 Spidey books that are just really, really impressive. Really, really impressive. That's actually not a bad price. I've actually seen that book for like $1,000. There's a shop that I go to. I want to say that the book is like $1,000, which I think is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. So let me scroll down. All right. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. I want to keep it moving along. Just a quick recap of everything that we talked about. So the cover recreation winner has not claimed his prize, and we are now going to second place. Dino Wilson is the winner. He is the second place winner. And Dino, if you are listening to this, make sure you send me an email to Regie@RegieCollects.com to claim your prize. I need all of your contact information. Third place is Altamista. If you are listening to this, send me an email as well, because if Dino does not claim his prize, we are going to go to your name. So that is the wrap up, if you will, around the cover recreation. I think that the cover is either finished or just about finished, so we want to get that sent out to the winner as quickly as possible. For those that are just joining a little bit later, I actually have a new show that is going to be premiering tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Pacific time. It is a premiere, which means that it won't be live, but I will be live in the chat talking to you guys while the video actually plays. I'm actually going to make that live right after this live stream wraps up. So you'll be able to set a reminder for yourself if you want to participate in that premiere. I think it's going to be a cool video, cool discussion. Looking forward to having you guys join me. And then comicspriceguide.com is actually doing a really cool original art giveaway. It's a contest. It wraps up on the 13th. All you have to do is to follow them, repost an image, and then comment that you have finished it and you are basically in the running for this really cool piece of original art. So check that out if you are on Instagram, and it's Comics Price Guide on Instagram. So check those guys out. There was one other thing I was going to tell you guys about, but what I was going to tell you about has escaped me. But I will give you guys a reminder that this is this week's Go Collect giveaway. It is Fantastic Four number 45. It is a Stan Lee story, a Jack Kirby, Joe Sinnott cover and art. It is a really, really cool book. First appearance of Lockjaw and the Inhumans. This is this week's Go Collect giveaway book. All you have to do is to watch the videos on the channel to find the phrase to be able to enter the giveaway. The details are on the community tab page. So check that out. If you have not found the video this week, I definitely want to encourage you to check out all the videos that have been released from the channel over the last couple of days. All right. Let me scroll down. Tina's like, great giveaway. Let me see what else you guys are talking about here. All right, I think that's it. I think I've covered off. What do I think about? So, I actually recommended this site. If you I think I put them in a couple of videos. I want to say, if you search for Regie Collects resources, there is a video that I put together. And in this video, I basically highlight a couple of sources for comics. And I think I included them in that video. And then I also may have included them in my secret hunting ground video, I want to say. I think that their site is not an easy site to use. I think that their books aren't necessarily at the grade and quality in which I would want them to be in when they arrive. I think that they are, for me, an option of last resort. They have a big inventory. So if you cannot find things other places, you can sometimes find things here for a decent price. They are doing some things right now where they actually will give you a couple of bucks. If you've bought from them before, they will actually give you a couple of bucks and it will actually put it in your PayPal account. So right now they've given me $5 store credit, and I can actually spend it through the 11th when I use PayPal to pay. And it's actually a really, really cool. It's a really cool offering that they do, but this is their website. It's a really cool offering. They are, for me, an option of last resort. And I have not bought a ton from them, but maybe 6 orders or something like that. And I became a little disillusioned with them when an order actually came in and the comic actually had a lot of pen mark on it, and that was not disclosed. And so that was not cool. That was not cool. A much better site is mycomicshop.com. Super slow shipping because I typically go for the cheaper shipping, but I think that they undergrade their books. I think that they undergrade their books, and I think that their prices are pretty darn fair. And that is a fantastic combination, right? A slightly undergraded book that is also at a fair price. That's a win. That's a win. I buy a healthy amount from my comic shop. I actually have one of their boxes sitting right over there right now, right? Because I dig them. A lot of what I do, I actually buy in local comic shops, but occasionally you have to go online. At least I do, right? Everyone's a little bit different depending upon your part of the country. So, all right, with that, I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me just a little bit. Again, new show dropping tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific time. I'm about to make it so that you guys can actually set your reminders and alerts. So definitely stay tuned for that, and tune in if you can. I think that it's going to be a good one. But ultimately, you guys will tell me that by your views, by your comments, and by your likes. Take care.